Check this.
Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. So it's been a while since I have created some videos. In my previous video I have shown you guys how to get started with Ansible, how to install it on CentOS and all those things. In today's video tutorial it's all about how to set up the host file and the Ansible configuration file and getting started with Ansible automation on Cisco iOS routers and switches. So I have already opened my virtual machine running Ubuntu 18. So if you want to check which release I am running, lsb underscore release minus a. So you can see that I am running 18.10 of Ubuntu, which is codenamed as Cosmic Cuttlefish, and the version of Ansible which I am running is Ansible dash dash version. So you can see that I am running 2.7.8 version. So if you want to see the host file as well as the configuration file which I am using, it will be under /etc/ansible folder. So I am already within the iOS folder within that particular Ansible folder. So I'll be going back to the Ansible folder and I'll showing you the configuration file and the host file. I'll just type ls and you can see that ansible.cfg as well as the host file is there. I have backed up all the default configuration file, the roles file and all. If you want to see this Ansible configuration file, the host file and the roles folder will be by default when Ansible is installed. So I have backed up all of them because that will be having many configurations and we will require it only if we are doing some advanced stuff. For basic Ansible setup on your PC, it's not required. Most of the times these configurations will confuse you. So that is the reason why I kept a minimalistic configuration in my host file as well as Ansible host file. So let's see, you can see that ansible.cfg as well as host file is there. So the first thing I'm going to show you is the host file. So I'll be just typing more space host. So you can see that I have created a host section called as Cisco with children as the tag. The thing what this particular thing does is that suppose you have Cisco different type of Cisco devices. Say there are Cisco devices running normal native Cisco iOS or Cisco iOS XR or NX or S. So what you can do is that you can list everything under the Cisco as a children. Children means whatever the parent has, that will be inherited by the children. Suppose you can see that here I have named it as Cisco and below portion I have defined some variables associated with Cisco. So you can see that I have mentioned my network OS as iOS because I'll be using iOS devices. The user which I am going to use is Cisco and the password is Cisco and Ansible underscore become. That means if you want to elevate the privilege or not, I have elevated the privilege using which method? I have used the method called enable. So enable password will be used and that is again Cisco. So all these variables I have defined for the parent called as Cisco. So whatever children I list under this, suppose you can see right now you can see here that I have listed iOS as a children, and so whatever variables I have defined for the parent Cisco will be available for iOS also. In addition to that, if you are defining some variables for iOS, say iOS voice, and you are defining some other variables, that will be available only for iOS. So I have listed some devices. 101 to 104 are routers and 100 is a switch. So I hope this part is clear for you guys. So the second thing which I am going to show you is Ansible configuration file, ansible.cfg. So you can see that I have very minimalistic configuration. I have defined some defaults. Inventory inventory means the list of hosts on which we are going to run the commands on. So that is defined within the host file, and it is mentioned in etc Ansible host file. Host key checking. Whenever we are trying to do SSH from a Linux shell to a router or a switch, at that time some SSH keys will be saved, and once these keys are saved in the non-host file, suppose I'll show you where it is saved. I'm going to my home, and here you can see .ssh folder is there. This is a hidden folder. If you type ls, you can see non-host is there. So I type more space non-host. So you can see that some keys are defined here, RSA keys. These are the keys which I am using to connect to different hosts. And if these host keys are already available, that means these hosts are known to the device and it will allow connection. If there is any change in the keys, then it will not accept. You have to either add it to this particular non-host or need to remove the non-host folder and recreate it again. So that is what host key checking. What host key checking will do, it will if it is true means it will always check whether the key is available or not. If host key checking is disabled means it will not check whether the key is available or not, and you will have success all the time. Fox equal to 20. Suppose in your production environments you have around 400 routers, 500 routers or something. In that case, if you are running default Ansible with default Ansible setup, that means there will be a fork default of 5. That means parallelly only 5 processors will run. But in such scenarios, say you are running 400 devices or 700 devices, there you have to increase the forks to 100 or something. That means 100 parallel Ansible executions will happen rapidly. Sorry, not rapidly, randomly. Then comes the persistent connection section. Here two options are there: command timeout and connection timeout. This will happen. This will not happen. This kind of timeout will not happen in the case of a lab environment. This kind of command timeout as well as the connection timeout options need to be defined if in the case of if you are handling multiple devices from remote locations where latencies are high and the devices are under load. In those scenarios, what happens is that it will take some time for the command to get executed. Even the connection timeout can happen. So to avoid that only I have mentioned this. So what happens is, like, if a connection timeout is happening, Ansible will retry and try to execute the program within this particular time frame. And this concludes my today's session. I hope this particular video was informative for you guys. If you like my video, please like and subscribe to my channel, my YouTube channel, as well as my Facebook page and my website.